it's time for our story. That's right, Chesley. It's Sunday afternoon Bible story time. And what is the title of our story today? Oh, David's unexpected victory. That's right, David's unexpected victory. I mean, this one was, it just looked like no chance. But you know what? I think, the unseen God, he kind of fools them. The unseen God fools them. That's right. They had their idols they could depend on. No, not David. The unexpected victory. And you know what they sing? Oh, yes, you have to sing your theme song, Chesley. And sure ain't good to see if they're going here. Do they like the hat? I'm sure they do like your hat, but if they do like your hat, they can comment. No, I see Sheila's on. That's right. Sheila, my cousin, is on, and she's my cousin too. Well, I guess you can claim her too. Yes, Chesley. I suppose she's okay with the wooden cousin. Oh, I tell you something. This gospel train is chugging the track, chugging the track, this chugging the track. This gospel train is chugging the track, chugging to the glory land. Get on board this gospel train. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Get on board this gospel train. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Chesley, who can go to the glory land? He said the ones that love the Lord and serve Him. The ones that love the Lord and serve Him. That's right. Chesley, is it a certain age group? No, it doesn't matter if you're young or older in between. That's right. Young or old or in between, just serve the Lord, love Him, and He's going to be there. He's going to be up there in the glory land. We're going to see Jesus up there, so let's get ready to go be with Jesus forever and ever and ever. All right, Chesley. And so, you want to tell a story? Yes, I do, Chesley. This is really a good story, and I tell you something, it really happened, and some people say it's not real. Some people think that it's not real, it couldn't have happened, but it did. Well, back in the Bible days, Chesley, and that was way back under 20 years ago. Oh, way, Chesley. It was actually centuries ago. It was hundreds of years ago, and the Philistines, they had these big guys. Yeah, they had some big guys, and there was one, and his name, this guy come out, his name was Goliath. He was, how tall was he? About 12 feet? I don't think he was quite 12 feet, Chesley. I think he might have been 9 to 10 feet tall. Was they all like that? Chesley, I don't think, no, they all weren't like that. But the Philistines came out. They came out against the children of Israel. And that's God's children. God's children, that's right. But they were in a battle. And so here there was one on one side, one on the other side. There was a valley in between, and they was going to have this battle. And did they serve idols? They served idols. Yes, the Philistines did. But the Israelites, they had the one true God that you couldn't even see. You could see, so people said, well, where is He? We don't see Him. And so you need to bring Him out here, set Him up so we can see it. And they thought they should be worshiping that idol. And because that's what they did. Theirs was made of wood and stone and things like that. They can't hear, can't do nothing. That's right, but they can't do anything, but they thought that they could. And that's what would get them when they would put their trust in God. And here is what David, so he'd remember what the deal is now. There's 12 of these boys, and he's going to come down. Well, Chesley, he was a shepherd boy, but he had 3 brothers that was here in the battle. So Dad said, you better go check on them. We got to check on them. And you take him the care package. Probably did take him a care package, probably, and I know it did. In fact, it listed the things that he brought, some of the things he brought for them. Well, here David went. He was probably excited. And was he going to join the army? Well, he wasn't there to join the army. Dad said, go check on your brothers, see how they're doing, and let me know how the battle's going. And so he did. He got there, and he said, oh, what's going on? And I think he looked around and said, well, who's that big guy? And there was this big, giant man up there. And he was crying to send somebody over here to fight with me. And David said, what's going on here? And his brothers probably, and they did say to him, what are you doing here? You should be home. You've gone and run away from home. No, he said, I did not. Dad sent me here. Here's your package. Yes, here's your package. He said, Dad sent me here to check on you. But he said, who's this guy up here? Yeah. What's going on? What's he saying up there? He's snorting off and talking to them, saying that you can't win. And he didn't understand why they didn't go. It had to be somebody go and fight. I know what he was. And you know what the king did? He was scared. The king was scared. That's right. He had really turned his back on God, and he was scared, and so he thought, there's no way you can win. I can't send anybody out there. And something, what I think? Well, what do you think, Chesley? I think he should have gone because he was the biggest one. That's right. The Bible says that King Saul was head and shoulders taller than any of his people. So it just stands to reason he should have gone. And so he's a chicken. He's a counter. Well, Chesley, he just thought there's no way. and he wasn't going, and none of his soldiers would go. And you know that was it. He didn't expect him to. He didn't expect him to. What was he going to do? He just had. It was just a shock. There was no way out of this. I tell you. And then here comes David. He's the answer. And that's what David, he said, well, somebody go out there. Said, who is he? He said, well, he's defying the one true God. Ain't going. And his brother said, get out of here. You're an embarrassment to us. Get out of here. Go back home. No, he said, what's going on? God can help us. And some were saying, God, I don't see God anywhere. But he said, well, I'll tell you out on the mountain. He said, I tell you what, I'm out there taking care of the sheep. He was taking care of the sheep. And they said, what's that got to do with this, kid? Get back home. Oh, and David said, no, I'm telling you, God he helps you, even though you can't see him. He helps you. He's helped me. I've won the battles. With lions and bears. That's right, with lions and bears, said, I've saved my sheep. You know what they said? I think they said, you don't even know what you're talking. There's nothing to do. You're just making it up. You're dreaming. They probably did think it was just dream. His brother said, just go back home. You're an embarrassment to us. And he said, is there not a cause? No, there is a good cause. That's what he was saying. There is a cause. Well, finally, when King Saul got word that this guy wanted to go and fight him, David, and he said, it's not a chance. That's what he looked at him and said, him? I thought you had somebody that we could depend on. I was counting on this. And David said, I'm ready to go. And so Saul said, there's no way. You're just a kid. You can't do this. You're a shepherd boy. I think he said, we're talking of that big tough man. Look there. And whoever wins, their whole country wins. That's right. Whoever wins. That was the way it was. The Philistine said, I tell you what, whoever wins, he said, if I win, then my country wins and you are our servants. And said, if your man wins, said, well then if they kill me, said, well then the Philistines have to be your servants. And so I think they thought they had it made. That's what the Philistines thought. They had it made because they said, we know that the Israelites don't have anybody as big as our guy. But here was David saying he could go. And here's King Saul said, you can't go. And he said, you know what God did to me? And he started telling him all the wonderful things the Lord had done, how I'd helped him out on the mountainside. And he said, it's the same thing here, taking care of my sheep. The Lord will help me here. He tried to give him his armor. He said, I don't want that junk. I can't even carry it. No, God, here's what I got. He said, what do you have? And he said, well, I've got this I've got this slingshot here that I use. It's just crazy. I can't stand it. That's pretty much what the king was saying. I can't even stand it. This makes no sense. But this guy wouldn't go away. And he said, well, if you just got to go ahead and go. No! And David was so happy. He was so happy because he said, the one true God, that's who I trust and believe in. And I tell you what, the Philistine king no doubt was laughing. He said, this is just not even going to be a contest. And that is exactly what Goliath thought. But you know what David did? He didn't pay any attention to it. Did he get scared and change his mind? No, he didn't get scared and change his mind. He said he went down to the brook. I know he's going to take a swim. No, he's not going to take a swim. He wanted to find him some nice, smooth stones. And that's what he got, those stones out of there. And he was ready. It just didn't look like he was making any sense. And here's going to be that giant. There's the giant. He has this huge spear. He has this huge javelin. Oh my, he is all prepared. There's just not a chance. David, that's what it looked like, no chance. And they said, well, who's your God that's going to help you? We don't see him anywhere. He's the unseen God. He's right here with me. And when Goliath saw him, he said, what in the world do you mean? This is an embarrassment. No, he said, hey kid, just get him out of here. Why, I'll feed you He's going to feed him to the birds. That's what he said. I'm going to feed him to the birds. He's not going to do it. Well, he said, this is just a mockery. I can't stand this. And he thinks he's going to I'll just feed you to the birds. That's what he thought he was going to do. Something. And you know what? The king said. The Israelites. He said they said we don't have anybody to go, and he's so big we can't go. But David didn't look at it like that. He said he's so big I can't miss him. And that's right. He's so big I can't miss him. And he took off running just as fast as he could. I know he's going the other way. He changed his mind. No, he didn't change his mind, Chesley. I tell you what he did. He said, I'm going to hurry to him as fast as I can. And he shocked him. He shocked him. He just ran as fast as he could. He began to sling. There had that slingshot, began to sling it around and around and around and around. And Chesley, wait. I was slinging that slingshot. Well, Chesley, he slung it round and around and around and around. And then he let it go. No! And it went straight to where? It went straight there, right there, penetrated right through there. And he went, and he cut off his head. He cut off his head, and the victory was won, and shock waves went all through both camps. And you know what I think, Hampton, now? What do you think happened? I think that this brother said, that's my brother. They did. They probably said, that's my brother. That's our brother. All of a sudden, they probably want to be identified with it. But before they didn't. You know, sometimes, Chesley, people don't want to be identified with us. They said they're just kind of crazy, believing in the one true God. But we are not crazy believing in the one true God. You cannot see him, that he is there to win the victory. He was there, and the victory was won that day. It was a mighty victory. And everybody was, and King Saul was, who is this guy? And they was wondering, well, what about his family and all? Now everybody wanted to, I think what they did, I think they called all the radio stations and TV stations. Chesley, they didn't have radio and TV stations. But had they had them, they would have probably already been there to see what they thought would be a total mismatch. But I tell you what, it was, in fact. And John didn't have the chance. The giant didn't have a chance. He didn't trust in God, didn't believe in God. He believed in his strength, and he thought he was going to feed this kid to the birds. Did you know something happened? What happened, Chesley? A long time later on, he became the king. That's right. David became the king of Israel a long time after that. But Chesley, right now, our story is finished, and so I need to get another one for next week, Chesley. You can get one next week. We're so glad that we got to be here today. We pray to see Cheryl is on today. Bless you, Cheryl. I said Sheila is watching. So we're so happy to have you here today, and we'll be back next Sunday afternoon. And right now, what you going to sing again? No, Chesley. You want to tell another story? No, Chesley. It's bedtime. So you tell, I'm just going to bed. But Chesley, it's time to go to bed. So tell everybody goodbye. You look forward to seeing them next Sunday afternoon. And I love you very much. And I look forward to what am I going to tell? Well, Chesley, if there's a story they want to hear, they need to let us know. Put that in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to get you one. All right, Chesley, it's been good to be here with everybody. And so we'll see you next week, the Lord willing. You have a great rest of the day.